Alright, so we got the oil pan off. This is the bottom end of the engine. I'm just loosening the rod cap bolts there. That's these, or the crank cap bolts. So I'm pulling those so I can pull these stiffeners. So we'll show you later once we get the stiffeners out of the way. We'll look up in the bores. Alright, I'm going to pull these big rod cap. I keep calling them rod caps, but they're crank cap bolts out so I can get the stiffeners off and get them out of the way. So that stiffener will come off. So I already loosened these rod caps. We have mowing in the background, but let's see how this audio works out. We're trying a new audio technique here. So I'm just tapping this cap down. This is one of the rod caps. There it goes. Alright. This doesn't look bad, but I think most of the wear ends up on the top. Alright, so I'm going to try to, I don't know if you can see up in there, but you can see the bore pretty good. Some pretty good cross hatching. It might be a little bit better actually there. Yeah, you can see it pretty good right there. That one, this one's a little harder to see because it's around on this side, but I can't get the camera in that angle. But those ones look pretty good. That's the middle two cylinders. That's that we got there. All right, let's see if I can get this bearing shell out in here. It's a little bit of a pain to get up in here too, this stuff. I think it's coming. Come out. Alright, yeah, we got it. Alright, so this is, like I said, number 2R. So 2 right bearing shell. So some washing out there, huh? Too bright a light. Let me try. I don't know how well you can see that, but it's got a pretty good, starting to get to the copper layer there. The backside's pretty fouled up too. So here's the new bearings. So on these, the solid bearing goes on the rod, and the split bearing goes on the cap, or the one that has a groove in it goes on the cap on the bottom or whatever. Got some assembly lube on this guy. I'm gonna notch it in. Make sure you get it in with the notch. Alright, so you can see up in there, that thing is using this thingy. So you see that little notch on that side right there. You got to make sure it's in the notch on the connecting rod. That's how you know you got that in the right orientation. And then make sure that they're flush with the rod, the bottom of the rod face. If it's, I mean, it'll, when you put it over the crank, it'll kind of seat itself in even, but you want to make sure it's pretty close to where it's going to sit. So that guy is ready to sit down on the rod. I'm going to have to try to get to this the other crank bearing off of that side. You see that one's still the old one up in there, right there. All right, so we're going to pull this old rod cap off. Get it out of there. There it goes. So my little cap came off. So here's a big reveal. Oh yeah, got some pretty good wear on that guy. Oh, yeah. Get the light just right. Oh boy, the oil just dripped right on my camera too. We're in the drip zone. Oh, it dripped again on my camera. I need to get a rag to stuff up in this hole here. Actually, it's coming from here, isn't it? Well, my camera's been marked by the Detroit. Alright, we're going to put the bottom bearing cap on this side. This is 2R. Cleaning it. Getting the notch to one side. I think the grease got on my camera lens. It's all hazy. Get it in the notch. Seat it down in there. Cover it with some pretty good amount of assembly lube. Don't want this thing to go dry. Start up. Again, make sure you're matching up your letters. Letter here, letter there. The cylinder designation should be on there. Hold my tongue right here. Someone's going to start. Got splayed out. And this one, for some reason didn't want to line up right, but we got it tight there. Just gotta tighten up on the top. Alright, I'm torquing this first to 60 foot-pounds. Check your manual, make sure what your torque is. And I'm not going to snug, I'm just going to snug up each side and keep going from side to side until I get my torque. Side's a lot looser. This thing does not click very loud. Alright, so we got it at 60. We're going to go to 70 now. Alright, so those are torqued to 70 foot-pounds. Alright, so we can move on to the next one. These bottom ends of the rods usually don't look too bad because they don't get the punishing force of the piston being pushed down on it, so the top one gets all the force on it. Pull the upper bearings here. Get to them over there. Yeah, it's backwards. So it's got some decent wear, not major. I'll show these more once I get them all out. There's that mother of a gun. There we go. All right, now we're down on there. Let's tappy tap this thing in place here. There we go. Even it up. Beautiful. Let's get the other one down here. Get my arm under there. There it goes. Try not to pinch my freaking pinky again. There we go. Alright, so even tap tap that one into place, even it up. There we go. Nice and even. Alright, I think we're ready for the bottom ones then. Let's start with the front one. That's, I think, 1L. Alright, we thought we were confused there for a minute, then we weren't. At least I never knew. I was never confused. That's what I'm going to tell somebody.
Go ahead, do that, boss.
Alright, so 1L is the first cylinder here. So that means the L is on this side. And you got to make sure you line up the L's and the L. This guy goes together a little smoother. It's tripped my ear again. Tap this guy, tappy tap tap. Tappy tap tap. Nuts on. Alright, now we're going to do 1R. Put a little bit of glue. So we'll load a 1R into the cap.
Can I say a concern? One bolt looks bent.
So we got 1R in here. Sucker looks like it's got a scrape on it. What the fuck? God damn it. That ain't gonna work. It's got a big scrape on there. Was that already on there? So we had a slight issue with one of the bearings. After I got the top one in, I noticed the bottom one was scratched, so I have to order another set. Alright, I made this, it's a nylon bolt. I had to trim the head down a little bit thinner. So we're going to put it in here. Alright, turn it. Keep turning it. I don't know if you can see that. Try to get it up in here. Alright, so you see it's pushing the bearing out. Nice and easy, slow. Here it comes around. Keep going. So it's coming around. Coming. You gotta come all the way around. Keep coming. Keep going. So it'll slide now. Hold on, hold it there. Put the camera down here. Let me see if I can slide this bearing off. Not quite. All right, go ahead a little more. Oh, there it goes. Oh, there it goes. All right, keep coming. A little further. Keep coming. So then there, your little bolt can slide right back out. All right, so on the crank bearings, the upper one has the slot in it for the oil gallery. So, and then also remember your notch. So the notch is on this side, so I gotta lay it in here like that, and we're gonna roll it up in that side. But I'm gonna put some assembly lube on this too. Just to start, it's gonna be the real tricky part. There it goes. All right, so there, it's starting to slide up in there. So we can slide it around. Pushing this bearing out here. So I have the buttons in there. This should be pushing the bearing out. I hope you can see that. Sorry. Alright, getting the new bottom cap for this one in. Putting some amount of lube on here. Should have it where I can see this cap, but you can see it in the video. So push this bearing down on the main cap. Bolts, please. We're gonna have to put some stuff on these. I don't have it yet, so I'm just gonna put these up in here to hold this in place until we're ready. some assembly lube on these. Let's see, I'm gonna tilt this out a little bit. There we go. Again, making sure you got your tab in the right spot. Put a oil on the back side there, help it slide in there. Oh, come on. There we go. Alright. There we go. This hammer's got a nice butt end on it. Push it up in there. There it is. The seat's right up in there. We'll get the bottom cap. See, that guy's worn. That's the old one. Sugar Shack. So I got another bearing with a big gouge in it. I don't know if you can see it. Sugar. Alright, I'm going to push this bearing in. Once you get it lined up, it should just kind of slide around. I don't know if you can see that real good. Trying to keep it lined up with it. When I did it earlier, it went right in. Turn it clockwise a little bit. The other way. There it goes. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. You're jerking on it. Keep going. Alright, there we go. Now good. Keep going. See, that's good. We have the bolts. Come on. What in the foul, foul? Fuck. That's a lot easier. I think that's all we can do. Alright, so I wanted to get a good view here of inside of the cylinder. Hopefully you can kind of see that. It's like pretty good cross hatching. Got a drip of oil right there getting ready to fall my camera.